spooky. Feds them a move spooky.
Before we get started, I want to let you guys know that I'm going to be doing a question and answer in the next coming week. So make sure you guys submit any questions that you have for me. It could be funny, they could be serious. If there's anything you want to know about me, just submit them. It's anonymous, so no one's going to know who you are. And it's like no judgment, no pressure. Like I'll answer all of it because I'm gangsta. Okay, so submit all your questions. I'm going to leave the link down in the description box down below and also put it on the screen right here. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Liallure, and I'm back at it again with another video. If you are new to my channel, hey girl, hey, my name is Leah. I make videos, story times, hauls. I do a little bit of everything. And if you're a returning subscriber, hey friend, how are you? I hope you're doing wonderful, fabulous, beautiful, amazing. If you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Liking the video helps me a lot. It helps me get into the algorithm and it helps other people see my videos. So if you want me to keep making these videos, make sure you like it or I stop making them. Yeah, I love you. Another thing is, please make sure you're subscribed to my channel, because I know YouTube does this thing where, like, if you watched a lot of my videos, you'll see me in your recommended videos, so you probably think that you're subscribed to me, but you're not. So stop what you're doing and check to see if you're subscribed to me and subscribe, because you don't want to go out in 2020 being a hater. Love you. So you guys, welcome back to another video in Vlogtober, and today is a story time. Today's video is actually the second installment of my paranormal activities series, I guess. So this was supposed to be the second paranormal activity installment, but I decided to post this one first because I didn't like the way the first video looked, so I have to refilm that, and that's why I posted this one first. So just ignore, you know, everything I'm talking about first and second. Just ignore that. So today is the second video in that kind of like installment. I don't know if there are going to be any other paranormal activity videos after this, because sometimes story times come to me. Like, I don't remember all of them all at once. They kind of just come to my memory at times. So if there's another one, there's another one. If there's not, then like this is your last stop on the train. Yeah. So let's get started. So let me start off by saying that my house has never, to my knowledge, never had any paranormal experiences. Okay, like we've never had any paranormal activity. I don't know if this is because, you know, the area, there's just nothing weird that ever happens in there. I don't know if it's because we're blessed and highly favored. Okay, it's a house full of prayer warriors, you hear me? And so nothing ever happens to us because we are covered by the blood of Jesus. Amen. Amen. And so nothing ever happens in my household for the most part. Like, it's always been a pretty stable household. I've never had anything to tell my friends about during Halloween. Like, there's never anything happening, you know. We're pretty normal. Okay. In my junior year of high school, something weird started to happen. We had a ghost in the house. Now, I know some of you may think, girl, that's cap. That's cap. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Just hear me out. Okay, because I love a good skeptic, but hear me out. One of the first signs that we had a ghost in the house was the light. Now, in my house, we had a chandelier. It wasn't like a really big chandelier, but it was like a really good size, and it was a nice accent to the living room. We got the chandelier from like a furniture store, so it wasn't donated to our knowledge or anything like that. There was nothing wrong with it. So we got the chandelier, and it had been like a few months into having the chandelier. Now, the chandelier was in the living room, like I said, so you know, it was just like the common lighting source for everyone. Now, this chandelier wasn't one that was activated by turning an on and off switch. It wasn't one of those. It was one where we decided to install a touchpad. So if you guys ever had a touchpad in your house, when you hold onto it, it increases the light and it decreases the light. So you're able to like dim the light to your settings and also increase the brightness to your settings. So that's the light that we got for the chandelier. Now, everything was fine until it wasn't. One day I was sitting in the living room watching TV, and everyone else was kind of like in their respective rooms. It was a day on the weekend, and it was about, I want to say like 9 p.m. around this time, and I'm just chilling. I'm watching TV, whatever. All of a sudden, the light starts to dim. I'm confused because the only way to dim the light is by touching it, okay? And I'm the only person in the living room, like I told y'all, and I'm not touching it. There's no remote to touch it, so someone had to be touching it, right? Well, okay. So I'm like, what? Like, that is so weird. But it didn't stop there. For the next minute, the light kept getting brighter and then dimmer, and brighter and then dimmer, brighter and then dimmer. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what's going on? Now, my rational brain does not think there's a ghost in the house. My rational brain says there's probably a trip in the wiring, and that's why the light is doing this. There's probably a trip. Maybe there's like a piece of hair on it that's triggering it. Maybe it's super sensitive. Like, I don't know, but I don't think there's anything weird going on, okay, at first. Now, I didn't say anything to anyone about like the light situation because it sounds crazy. It sounds insane. I'm not gonna lie. Like, somebody tell you like, yeah, I was in the living room and all of a sudden the light was getting like brighter and dimmer and brighter and dimmer. You're gonna be like, girl, what the hell are you talking about, right? Now, I didn't say anything because I didn't think nothing of it. I had noticed a few more times that the light was doing that. Still, didn't say anything to anyone. One day, I'm sitting on the couch with my cousin and we're watching Are You the One? Okay, I used to watch Are You the One all the time. Okay, so it's probably Wednesday. We're watching Are You the One? And my mom and my aunt are in the kitchen, you know, cleaning the kitchen, washing dishes, talking to each other, stuff like that. Everybody else is in their respective rooms. It's just me and my cousin sitting on the couch. Suddenly, the light starts to do the thing again, okay? It starts to get brighter and get dimmer. Get brighter and then get dimmer. Brighter and then dimmer. So I look at my cousin, he looks at me, and we like, girl, what the girl, what is this, honey? What is this, honey? So he looks at me, he's like, yo, like, what is going on? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not my first time. It's not my first time noticing this. So So my cousin's like, what the like, what's going on? So my dad gets out of his room and he like walks past the living room to get into the kitchen, and I'm like, Daddy, there's something wrong with the light. So he's like, what's wrong with the light? I say, the light is dimming on and it's dimming off. He stands in the corner, he looks up at the light, and he's like, maybe it's a trip. Again, rational. That's your rational thought that the light is tripping, right? So he's like, no problem, I'm gonna look at it right now. He opens up the box, like the breaker box or whatever, to see if there's anything wrong with the light, and he resets the living room so that the light resets and stuff like that. So we're like, cool, there should be no problem. My dad goes back to his room. My aunt and my mom go to their respective rooms as well. Now it's just my cousin and I in the living room. Girl, the light starts to do the thing again. It starts to dim on and dim off and dim on and dim off, and it's very slow too. Like, the way it's happening, it's like someone is holding it down, like specifically touching it, and I'm confused shit because there's no one there. I even did as much as going to the light to see if there was like a piece of hair or thread on it. There was nothing there. So I sit back on the couch and my cousin and I are now looking at each other like, and so all of a sudden, like, just jokingly, I say out loud, I'm like, if there's a ghost in here, can you stop, because we trying to watch something. Baby, the lights started to flicker on and off. Now it wasn't dimming on and off, it was flickering on and off. It's like someone was like pressing it on and pressing it off.
I beg your pardon?
I beg your pardon. So my cousin and I are like, oh shit, like, we're looking at each other like, yo, like, that is crazy.
Oh, now we gotta go?
Like, that's nuts. And I'm so glad I have somebody there sitting right next to me, because nobody would believe this. Literally no one would believe this shit if I didn't say it. And I'm almost positive I have a video of this because I remember posting it on Twitter. I'm gonna see if I can find the video, because I had several Twitter accounts. So if I can access it, I'm gonna pull it down. But if I can't, then my bad.
Now it's doing this. I need to get out. I need to get out. Why is my house haunted? I'm a good person. I'm a good person. Somebody help me, please.
But yeah, so the light is like flickering on and off, and I'm like, oh shit, like, oh shit. And then we just decided to get up, turn off the light, and go back to the room, because I wasn't gonna have it anymore. I didn't want no problems. I upset the ghost. Okay, so I was just like, you know, I'm done. So I go to the room, and that was the end of that. Now, there was something else that was happening that was very strange, and again, I didn't mention it to anyone because it sounded absurd. One day, I was in my room at night, and everybody was sleeping. I'm usually the last person in my house to fall asleep because I have insomnia a lot of the times, right? So I'm the last person in my room to sleep. Maybe I was like on Wattpad or something. I was on Wattpad a lot in high school, so it's probably me reading on my phone on Wattpad. All of a sudden, I needed to, you know, use the restroom. The restroom is directly across the hall from my room. So I get up and I see that the light is on in the restroom, but the door is closed. Immediately you would think, okay, somebody is in there, they're using it. So I'm like, knock on the door. I knock on the door once, nothing. I knock on the door again, nothing. Again, my immediate thought is that somebody is in the bathroom, or maybe someone was in the bathroom and they forgot to turn the light off. So I hold the doorknob and I try to twist it. It's locked. The door is locked. That's weird. Okay, maybe somebody locked it by accident. I don't know. So I go back to my room and I try to, you know, keep reading my book or whatever, but I needed to use the bathroom real bad. So about 15 minutes later, I get up and I go back. I knock on the door and I try to open the door. And now I'm thinking maybe my cousin was in there, you know, because sometimes like he's in the bathroom, but he's kind of like falling asleep as he's on the toilet. So I'm like, you right, if you're in there, like open the door, open the door, open the door. No one says anything. No one says anything, but suddenly I see footsteps. Not actual feet, but a shadow of feet under the door. Now the door didn't go all the way to the bottom, so there was definitely a crack, which is how I was able to see that the light was on, right? And I'm seeing like feet under the door, and I'm like, Swear. So again, I'm knocking. I'm like, you're right, open the door, open the door, open the door. Like, I need to use the bathroom. Hurry up. You're always taking so long. I'm still thinking it's my cousin. But no one is speaking back to me. No one is saying anything. You know, if it was my cousin, he would have been like, okay, I'm coming out. Silence. Silence. No one said anything. So I'm like, okay. I go back to my room, I get on my bed, and I continue reading my book. 2 minutes after I went back into my room, I hear the bathroom door opens. Now I know it's the bathroom door because every door in the apartment has a specific sound. When you've lived somewhere for long enough, you know whose door is opening. Like, you just know. Something about it, you just know. Okay, so I hear the bathroom door open, right? But I don't hear any footsteps. I don't hear anyone come out the bathroom. And you know, like I said, I'm right across the hall. So if somebody opens the door, like, obviously you would hear footsteps ensue. No, there was no footsteps. No one came out the bathroom and no one went into another room because no other door opened at all. Now I'm freaked out. I am freaked out, but I still go to the bathroom because I still need to use it. When I went into the hallway, the bathroom door was open and the light was off in the bathroom. So I go, I close the door, I turn on the light, I use the bathroom, and the whole time I'm praying because I'm like, oh my God, like, this is so weird, this is so creepy. I get out the bathroom after, you know, doing my business, and I bolt into my room because I don't want no problems. Girl, I don't want no issues. I don't want no issues. You hear me? I don't want no trouble. The third thing that started to happen besides the bathroom issue is eventually I started to hear footsteps pace the hallway. Like, okay, my apartment is not necessarily a small apartment, but it's small enough to the point where if somebody's walking around, like, you would hear it, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm hearing footsteps, but nobody's coming out these rooms. And again, I think I'm bugging because I'm like, yo, there's no way you're hearing footsteps and nobody's coming out the room. Like, you're making this shit up in your head. I'm telling myself I must be hallucinating. It gotta be the insomnia, something, very much so something. Again, this is not something that I tell anyone because I sound absurd, sound crazy, sound nuts, all right? Girl. Whew. A few weeks later, we go to a wedding. Now, we go to a lot of weddings, right? Especially in the like summer season or whatever, we go to a lot of weddings. I come from a really big family, and so my family usually goes to support everyone's like milestones, weddings, graduations, whatever. Like, everyone just goes to support. And I usually used to get dragged along. Up until I went to college, I used to get dragged along to all of these events. Like everyone else, I go to the wedding. Now, here's something about my family. Because they're so like supportive of everyone and stuff like that, they're the type of Caribbean family that will not leave the location until everything's clean, and then they've helped the host like pack up and stuff like that. Like, that's the type of people they are. So the wedding is over and I'm, you know, sitting in the area or whatever. At this point, I was extremely tired, and let me tell you why. This is a side story. Okay, so my family are really big dancers. Like, they get busy on the dance floor. They get down. All right, I am not. So usually when they're dancing, like, I'm in the corner watching them and like smiling and enjoying the moment and stuff like that. But they usually leave me alone because they know I'm not a dancer and I'm not social. So they leave me to my devices. Okay, praise God. So I'm sitting in a corner or whatever, and suddenly my cousin Urias, like, he comes to me and he drags me to the dance floor, and I am mortified. I am mortified because why the would he do that? Now, Blurred Lines is playing at the time. It is blasting through the speakers. Blurred Lines, I know you want it. I know you want it. They are getting down to the day song. You hear me? And so I'm just like, why would you do this? And he's dragging me, and my heart is going crazy. I get to the dance floor and I give them a little Carlton shuffle. You know what I'm saying? A little. I give the girls what they want. Immediately I leave. As you can probably imagine, after this like 2 minutes of being on the dance floor. My anxiety is so bad that I'm to the point of exhaustion. I am tired. I want to take a nap. I'm done. I'm done. You really did it. I gotta go now. So I'm sitting in the corner and I'm like tired and I just want to go home. Of course we don't go home right away because like I said, my family, they just like to help. They like to clean up and stuff like that. So me and Uriah are sitting in the corner while everyone else is like helping. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning when these people are ready to leave. We all pile into the car and on the way home, I start to fall asleep. We all get out the car and we decide to split. My dad and I went up the stairs because he needed to pee and I don't like elevators, but that's a long story. Okay. Anyway, my dad needed to pee. Yo, bro, you can't be dead ass. You can't be. So my dad is like walking up the stairs and I'm walking up with him because I am scared of elevators and my dad needed to pee. Okay, so he's walking up and the rest of my family is downstairs waiting for the elevator. We get upstairs to our floor and my dad is like jingling around with the keys, you know, trying to get the key into the door hole and stuff like that, and he also needs to pee, so he's doing this like pee-pee dance or whatever. Now my dad is also joking with me because my head is resting on the wall. I am tired. I'm dog tired. So he's joking with me. He's like, how can you be so tired? You didn't do anything. You didn't even dance or nothing like that. You're so lazy. Like, he's joking with me. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. Just open the door. He turns the doorknob and he steps into the door and I step right behind him. At this point, we're still joking around, so we're still talking. We step into the darkness of the apartment. Like most Caribbean parents, they don't leave the lights on when we leave, okay? Because you're wasting current if you do that. So he steps into the dark apartment and immediately I start to feel kind of like this breeze, like a cold breeze. I didn't know where the breeze was coming from because it was the middle of the summer and it wasn't that, you know, it wasn't that breezy outside. Plus I know we didn't leave the AC on, so I'm like, what is this? Again, I don't see anything. I just want to sleep. Step behind my dad. Before my dad could turn on the light, I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. We see a flash of blue light run from the start of the living room to the back of the apartment. And when I say run, I do mean run. The blue light wasn't a small orb, you know. It was a relatively human-sized blue light. And it was running through the apartment as in human strides. Like, it was running in a blur, but if you really looked at it, you could tell that this was like a person like running through the apartment. So my dad gets quiet and I get quiet. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? So my dad is like, I could feel him kind of like pondering. Like, you know when someone is like standing still, but you could tell they're like thinking of something? I'm behind him and I'm like, did you see that? He says, yeah, but he doesn't move. He just says, yeah. So now I'm like, okay, are you gonna turn on the light now? Like,
you are not a tree, you can move.
So my dad turns on the light and he doesn't say anything else about the situation. Now, the rest of my family, as we're turning on the light, they're coming in through the door, okay? They're coming in through the door and everybody's like, why are you guys just standing in the doorway? Like, why are you just standing in the hall? And I didn't say anything, right? I took off my shoes and I went ahead and I went to use the bathroom. You know, I did my hygiene and stuff like that before everybody else went to use the bathroom. So I'm doing my hygiene and I got back to my room. As I'm in my room, I can hear all the adults in the living room talking about something. And so I'm listening because I'm nosy. So I'm listening to their conversation and my dad is telling everyone else like what happened when we were in the hallway. He's telling them like, yeah, like we were standing there and there was just like this blue light like running through the apartment. And my mom is like, oh my God, like I knew something was wrong. And I'm looking at her, what you mean? 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 What's going on? So I'm listening and she's like, I knew something was wrong. I knew something was wrong because for the past 2 weeks, I've been so uncomfortable in my bedroom. I've been very uncomfortable. I've been unable to sleep. Any position I tried to lay in, I could not get comfortable. So I knew something was wrong. She's saying like, I knew it. She was saying that she also told my dad that she knew something was wrong because my dad was also having trouble like sleeping. Everybody else chimes in and they saying like weird shit has been happening to them the whole time too.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Huh. Okay. All right. Okay. Obviously, I'm freaked out. Okay. Obviously, I'm freaked out because what do you mean? What do you mean? weird stuff has been happening to y'all as well, because I thought it was just me. But now I'm listening and I'm like, damn, like that's really nuts. Like crazy shit has been happening to everyone in the apartment and no one said anything. So then at the end of the night, my mom, she took like one of those, if you're like Catholic or yeah, I think you have to be Catholic to know about this, but if you Catholic or you were raised Catholic, you know those like candles with the saints on them and stuff like that. They took a few of those candles and they placed it on the table in the living room and they lit them and they kept them in like a pot. And I just remember my mom telling me like, do not turn off the candle. Like no matter what you do not turn off the candle. It's not gonna burn down their apartment. It's gonna be fine. Like do not turn it off. So I'm like, okay, like that's fine. And that was the end of that. Yeah, like they never spoke about the situation, they never discussed it or anything like that. They kind of swept it under the rug and they lit their candles, and I never was bothered by the presence again. Okay, I never heard the footsteps again. I never and I never did the bathroom thing again. Like none of it happened again. And so that was it. And that was the time there was a ghost in my house. Yeah. Oh god. If you guys like this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe and go to join the gang because you already watched this whole video. You might as well stick around. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials. That is Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. It is in the outro and also in the description box down below. Call me, beat me if you wanna reach me. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye y'all.
Shout out to everybody. I had fun.